Finally, I could start off this video with a happier mood because the Los Angeles Clippers finally won, and the Clippers pretty much took control for the whole entire quarter except for the third quarter. Third quarter, we were just making really petty mistakes like travels, fouls, and just pretty much like the petty stuff and the turnovers. But wow, we took control 113 to 101. Ty Lue, he finally did even a better improvement. See, here's the thing with Ty Lue. Ty Lue, like, I'm literally not joking when I said Ty Lue gives me bipolar disorders because pretty much it's either I do not like Ty Lue or I love Ty Lue because man, that 6 game losing streak was pretty damn painful, man. It was pure pain. Tyler was doing the most ridiculous stuff ever, and then finally he actually played a lot of Covington minutes. But of course, unfortunately, Tyler did not fulfill my wish by playing the younger guys like Diabate or BJ Boston Jr. But I mean, he showed progress, but then I don't know. Tyloo's like a roller coaster. He's an interesting man, but I gotta give him where his flowers is today. And he didn't even play Reggie Jackson at all. So Reggie Jackson, he's kind of like getting a little cool down. He's trying to like have him just think about what to do and what to not do, I guess. Because Reggie Jackson, he's been having a slump, but I'm still not gonna forget what Reggie Jackson did back in 2021 or even some of the games this year. At times, Reggie Jackson, when he gets hot, but he's been doing bad, so Ty Lue just decided, you know what, let's just have him become like more of the cheerleader of the team and or a veteran of the team, and that's a good thing. And who knows, maybe when we play the Rockets, we could get Reggie Jackson some runs too, so he could get some of his shoutouts because let's be real, the Houston Rockets aren't, like a team to be extremely insanely worried about. So, anyways, let's get into these stats. So, Nick Batum, that guy, yes, his field goal does not look good whatsoever. But all the things he did in the other aspects, rebounding, assists, steals, and most importantly, defense. This guy harassed the living heck out of Luka Doncic. Man, beautiful. Beauty. And Batum should definitely not be traded for just scraps. If we trade Batum, it should be like at least an upgrade. Maybe like a Cam Reddish or I mean like a little piece for like a Cam Reddish and a Harnstein, but I doubt, we're gonna trade Batum because Batum is too much of a glue guy for our team, and rightfully so. He really is the glue guy. Kawhi Leonard, he had an amazing masterclass. 33 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, and 4 steals. Then, when Kawhi was guarding Luka, I noticed he tends to pass the ball as well too. When Luka scores, it would usually be fouls, or he would pretty much go after Marcus Morris or Norman Powell. I rarely see him actually score on Kawhi Leonard. Luka would always go for the screens or goes for the pass. And Kawhi Leonard, this is why I would say he's the best basketball player in the world when he gets to really showcase it. Right now, he's just still keeping it under the rug, that's a good thing. And I would go as far as to personally put him at one of the greats, really. I mean, yeah, accolades is not working towards his favor because due to injuries and all that, but the way how this era is really competitive and how he managed to win 2 rings, which is, yeah, it's not much, but the Raptors won. Come on. That's a good quality ring. Yeah, you can say the Warriors were hurt. But let's not act like he didn't beat the Philadelphia 76ers. They had Jimmy Butler, who is at least a top five small forward in the league. They got Joel Embiid, who is the best big man, um, pretty much the best big man in the NBA, really. And then you got, what's his face? Tobias Harris. When I'm saying Tobias Harris, not the role player Tobias Harris right now. I'm talking about when Tobias Harris was having a breakout year. He was a considered, like people can, like, not really considered him to be an all-star, but he's there. He's kind of like, he was like a borderline all-star, but he didn't make it to the all-star, but he was putting some really good numbers. And then you got Ben Simmons, who was at the time considered to be somewhat of the next big thing, who was considered to be a pretty good up and coming young player. So that's a stacked team right there. So let's not act like Kawhi didn't beat that team. And Kawhi definitely climbed up Giannis Antetokounmpo. So that's another good thing. So let's not try to pretty much put an asterisk on Kawhi Leonard's run against when he was with the Toronto Raptors, and I believe Kawhi's going to showcase it this year. And when the Clippers win the championship, you got to at least consider Kawhi at least top 15 of all time. Personally, I put him number 2 all time behind Michael Jordan because I'm very biased. So just pretty much just let that go outside to your other ears because, it's just my biased opinion. But, man, he's shown that he's the true all-around player. 9 boards and 4 assists and 4 steals and 1 block. Marcus Morris Sr., he got the offense going. He definitely did get exposed by Luka Doncic on defense when people he kind of got hunted on defense, but um, I'm glad that the Clippers managed to pull it off. Though Ty Lue definitely trimmed down his minutes and definitely got Robert Covington playing, that's a really huge plus. And I think Morris was just pretty much playing more like in the third quarter, and he didn't play too much during the fourth quarter, that's good because Luka, he hunts 2 people, Morris and Norman Powell. And also he tries to hunt Zubac, but then he would get swarmed, so that's good. Ivica Zubac, man, he got 8 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, so he was a little bit quiet in terms of the stats. He definitely fouled a lot in the first half. So, Tyler got to take him out and give him all the Rocco minutes, hey, I love me some Rocco. Terrence Mann. Ooh. Terrence Mann. I gotta love his energy, man. On defense and offense. You're gonna say 12 points, that's not a lot, but when it mattered, when Dallas was coming back, Terrence scored it. See, Terrence Mann is definitely, it's more mainstream. He's more of a mainstream young player for the Clippers. Well, I wouldn't even say he's young. He's 25 years old, 25, 26, and some people said some crazy stuff. They were willing to trade Terrence Mann for Ben Simmons. When Ben Simmons was considered to be in the trade talks. You are mad tripping. Terrence Mann is a glue guy, and Ben Simmons, he's a big name. So of course, these fans, they love to star hunt, and they just care about looking good on paper, but they don't look at what the player actually does, what the player's personality is, or just anything. So you gotta look deeper than just names and accolades or social media hypes or everything. You gotta actually look at the interior. Terrence Mann is that guy, and and I doubt the Clippers are gonna part ways with Terrence Mann. No way. You're not gonna convince me Terrence Mann should be considered a trade assets. Like I've said it before, but I'll say it again. If I pick my untouchables, it would be obviously Kawhi, Paul George, Terrence Mann, B.J. Boston, Diabate, and some first round picks too, because you don't want to dig yourself a hole. And I used to try to put Rocco in untouchables, but if it's like a substantial upgrade, I won't hate putting him in the trade. But Rocco, I would like Rocco to stay too. Um, but yeah, that's just my personal opinion. And then, but yeah, um, let's just go on to some other players. Norman Powell, he was getting buckets, but at the same time, he got targeted on defense, which is nothing too much what Norman Powell could really do because Luka Doncic, he's 6'7", man, and Norman Powell he's like 6'3", which is he definitely tried his best on defense. So you can't really do much about that, which is all good. He got buckets. He definitely went to the line a lot too, so he played pretty smart. And Norman Powell, he could definitely work so many ways for the Clippers. He could be a huge X factor. He could be the guy who could get buckets. Or since the Clippers have so many twos, he could definitely be used as a trade bait for something that is a really high reward and return. Who knows? But Norman Powell, man, from San Diego too, which is not too far from LA. So he definitely probably has some Clipper love in his blood. And four boards, and he did his thing. He did his thing. Moses Brown, he only played 5 minutes, which is I guess it's understandable. Um, because Luka Doncic would literally eat the living heck out of Moses Brown if he gets switched on. But Moses Brown, let's be honest, Moses Brown, he's far from garbage. I feel like people are not giving him the credit that he really deserves. I'm not saying that he's the next big thing or anything, but I'll be lying to you if I said Moses Brown cannot be a solid role player in the NBA. Like people saying they would rather take the Clippers should just sign Hassan Whiteside as a backup big. Like I don't really see what Whiteside does much better than Moses Brown. Really, they're both the same type of big. They're both um, rebounders. More of a who lives more in the post. Like Hassan Whiteside don't really shoot any threes or anything. So, and Whiteside, I doubt he's switchable like Musa Diabate. So I don't really get why people write off Moses Brown just like as an instance. Although he is pretty stiff at times and his free throws are pretty bad. Definitely could work on it. I can see why. I can see a little bit on why um, people kind of like would ride off Moses Brown. It's probably because his free throws, I guess. John Wall, he did pretty bad in terms of the field goal, but his assist was solid. Turnovers was not too bad. Um, he got three rebounds, so I guess that's average for a guard or a solid, I guess. But you know, the thing with John Wall is you gotta get him to pass the ball, man. You gotta get him to throw dimes and dimes and dimes. Don't let's not be just pretty much just chucking up shots and everything. Because man, Wall was missing a lot right now. But at the same time, a part of me, especially in the past videos, I defended Wall and say like he gets too much. He gets too much of a slander because when Wall plays, he does move the offense around, but at the same time, you don't want like Wall should not try to play too much like a shooting guard as well too because like this game, I could see this game is definitely going to be a perfect um, resource for the people who do not like John Wall because when he plays like a shooting guard, it's not the best. I would say it's definitely better than the worst version of Russell Westbrook, but I mean, still, you want to like at least be more efficient and 2 for 11, which is eh, like just throw dimers ball. We love to see that, but I mean, after all, we took the W, so I'm not complaining too much. Um, but yeah, Tyronn Lue may have ran a short rotations, but He definitely is starting to slowly put more of the right players in. But of course, come on, man. We gotta see some Diabate in action. We gotta see some BJ Boston Jr. because I feel like occasionally just maybe. I mean, that's just my wild idea, but maybe share a little bit of Boston Jr. with Norman Powell a little bit because I mean, it's hard to really say that because Powell did went off, but Boston Jr. though he has the same type of shot creation upside, but actually probably even better. But Boston Jr. got the better size up on Luka, and Boston Jr. would kind of like, eh, he would definitely contest the shot a lot better compared to a Marcus Morris or a Norman Powell. But at the same time, he may would get bodied, so that could be that. But Musa Diabate, man, I just would love to see a Diabate and Robert Covington front court. That would be so beautiful on defense, and the IQ would be nice, but the offense may kind of stink. But that, come on, the lockdown would be beautiful, beautiful. But now let's get to the Mavs. So Christian Wood, he went to the line a lot. He only scored 2 times, but he got his 12 points. But that guy's a foul merchant, and we would love to see Kawhi become more of a foul merchant. But however, Kawhi occasionally he's pretty smart with it too. He went to the line 12 times, so that's pretty good. But darn, Wood went to the line a lot of times, but he only got 3 rebounds. So Wood, honestly, he kind of like regressed after what he did with the Detroit Pistons. A lot of people, including myself, thought he was going to be a breakout player, but Wood, lately he's been, you know, he's been kind of like a little bit on the downhill because the thing with Wood is you could crush him inside the paint, and pretty much he's not like a true center, so he would not even do well with rebounds as well too because I remember Zubac murdered Christian Wood inside the paint when he was playing with the Rockets. But of course, the Mavs, they kind of played a little more smart. They swarmed Zubac, so I guess that is kind of a smart move. Tim Hardaway Jr., he's a pretty solid small forward shooting guard. He kind of comes in clutch for them when they need some offense. So that is a solid hope for Luka Doncic. 4 boards, and he definitely went 50% from the three. Dwight Powell, he didn't do much. 8 minutes, nothing special. Dwight Powell, eh, he just doesn't really do much. So that's why that he gives me more ammunition on why I would defend Moses Brown because I mean, really, like what, like if it just goes to say that a guy like Dwight Powell is literally starting, but he doesn't really do much. Like I never seen like a game that Dwight Powell probably scored more than 10 points. He's just a very like mediocre type role player. Spencer Dinwiddie, um, he got 13 points, 3 for 6 from three, so he definitely shot pretty well, which is kind of a surprise by Spencer Dinwiddie because usually he's not known for his 3-point shooting when he was playing with the uh, Brooklyn Nets, and he was considered to be a trade piece, but I mean, I forgot who they gave up for Dinwiddie, but honestly, the Mavs messed up by letting go Jalen Brunson for Spencer Dinwiddie. I mean, I think they got Dinwiddie at the same time with Brunson though, which is that even made a lot less sense. Like I don't know why they went after Dinwiddie when they had Jalen Brunson because Jalen Brunson is so much better than Spencer Dinwiddie because Jalen Brunson is balling out right now. He's a walking bucket and a good playmaker, and he's good all around as well too. Um, Very underrated. Well, honestly, now he's no longer underrated because he's balling out in the Mecca with the New York Knicks in the Madison Square Garden. So, but yeah, either way, Mavs have definitely messed up by letting go Brunson, and it shows on the record as well too. I feel like had they kept Jalen Brunson, they would have definitely um, done. They would probably be even higher. Well, actually, no. Mavs are like in the fifth seed, so I'm probably tripping right now. But yeah, and then Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic, of course, he has a high game of 43 points. He got 11 rebounds, got 7 assists, 2 steals as well too. Luka Doncic, I know Clippers fans hate him, and rightfully so. He flops a lot, he cries a lot, but man, he's one hell of a player, man. That guy could get buckets when you need him, and he can dime like a motherfucker. And he's incredibly hard to guard too. Like he's slow, but he's so crafty and he's strong. He could definitely take you down low. That's why guys like Norman Powell would get bodied down low because Luka Doncic, he has that perfect prototype. He's like 6'7", 6'8", can pass, shoot. Man, I'm it's crazy considering how Luka Doncic play and comparing to DeAndre Ayton. Surprised that Luka Doncic did not go number one. Imagine Luka Doncic with the Phoenix Suns with Devin Booker. Man, he could definitely be getting Booker a lot of looks, and Luka would just be throwing dimes and bigs. You could definitely find bigs. The Suns could have probably went after a guy like Miles Turner, and that could have been a scary team. Turner, Booker, Luka. Thank goodness the Suns did not take Luka Doncic, but yeah, that's just my take. And then the Mavericks bench, they're just not good whatsoever. Bertans, he's up in age. Reggie Bullock, he hit some timely threes when the Mavs needed him, but other than that, he was pretty mediocre. Frank Nit, Nit I noticed I know that Ntilikina. I have a hard time pronouncing his name. He only took one shot. He has a +8. He did I guess decent on defense. And then Jaden Hardy, who started to get some minutes, which is well deserved. I know his stat lines does not look pretty whatsoever, but I feel like Hardy could definitely be a pretty solid player down the line. Even though he didn't make any shots, but I really like his ball handling. His ball handling is pretty good. The way how he gets to the basket's pretty nice as well too. I've seen some of his games against the Boston Celtics when it was during garbage time. Um, if I were the Mavs, I would definitely be pushing Hardy to get minutes. I feel like if I was a Mavs fan, Jaden Hardy would be the Mavs version of Brandon Boston Jr. Obviously, Brandon Boston Jr. is much better, but Hardy, he could definitely be a solid player. Me and Clipset Gremlin, we would literally clown the Lakers for not taking Jaden Hardy because man, Hardy, that guy is silky smooth. He's kind of like a Jordan Poole or a Anthony Simons or a Cole Anthony type player. But nevertheless, finally, we won. So the next game, we play against the Denver Nuggets. So hopefully we see more of Rocco and this type of rotations. Obviously, Ty Lue, he still have a lot of room of improvement by getting Diabate some minutes because, come on now, we need to see a Diabate versus Jokic matchup or a Diabate versus Anthony Davis matchup when we play the Lakers next game. So that is that. But pretty much to end off the video, be sure to leave a comment down below and a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll definitely get with you on the comment sections because now we get to express our joy.